Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial, before we go to the analysis, quick look at what is the enrichment from today's session. You will improve your comprehension skill, your vocabulary, effective vocabulary. You can consolidate your grammar knowledge. You can improve your effective English. And besides, you're going to work on besides all these, you're going to work on mini mocks. Let us start with the question, what is this editorial about? This editorial is about Domaraju Gukesh's remarkable victory at the Candidates Chess Tournament, making him the youngest challenger in history for the World Chess Championship. It is related to sports, indoor game, it is related to chess and about someone's victory. And anything like this, you have to think of who is this person, how old is he, and what is his profile in the sphere of sports, and which title has he won, which title is he going to compete for in the coming future, near future, and who is he going to face, and who are the others who competed in this particular tournament. This is a broad framework. What is the tone of the editorial? The tone of the editorial is celebratory and optimistic because he has won a title, candidate chess tournament. He has emerged the winner, celebratory and optimistic for the next major tournament, World Championship. Let us start with the editorial vocabulary. The very first word we have already got, elite. Elite, part of speech, adjective, belonging to the richest, most powerful, best educated, or best trained group in a society. You can also say cream of the society and also gentry. So many related words and expressions are there. Gentry, and also it is like exactly optimistic, one who looks at the brighter side or bright side of something. And what is opposite? Opposite is a pessimistic. Grueling, part of speech, adjective, extremely tiring and demanding. A particular work demands a lot of expertise and experience and also a lot of effort, and it makes you tired. Then we say grueling experience, an important word. And privilege. Privilege we have got many a time, part of speech, noun, singular privilege, plural privileges, a special advantage or a right possessed by an individual or group, possessed by an individual or group, a special right, privilege. Creamy also you can say, very good. Stature, part of speech, noun, importance or reputation gained by ability or achievement. Based on your ability, based on your achievement, you reach a particular stage, you have a reputation in the society. For that, we say stature. My stature does not allow me to do that. A typical example. And slump, usually it goes with business context. Slump in the business. Glut also we say. Part of speech, noun, undergo a sudden, severe, or prolonged fall in price, value, or amount. But here you can talk in terms of achievement or titles. No titles for some time, then we say grueling race. Very good. I appreciate Naidu, Paidi, Tripura Sundari, and others also have been contributing. Resilience, this goes with you guys. I think we got yesterday many a time. A resilient nature. All the youngsters should have resilient nature. Able to be happy, successful, again after something difficult or bad has happened. This is a literal meaning, but already we have got resilience means to withstand hardships, problems, and emerge victorious. Spectacular, spectacular display, one combination. Spectacular achievement in this context, part of speech, adjective, obviously. Beautiful in a dramatic and eye catching way. That is a literal meaning. But spectacular victory, something thrilling, and a lot of people must have enjoyed. Then we say spectacular victory. Hastily, haste is a word, haste, and hasty. Haste, noun. Hasty, person, adjective. Hastily, adverb. Word forms. Rise like a phoenix. Very good, Naidu. Said or done in a hurry. You try to do things in a hurry, and based on this, there's a saying in English. What is it? Haste makes waste. Don't try to do things in a hurry. Haste makes waste. Exactly. Very good. Conceive has got two different meanings, part of speech verb. One meaning to become pregnant, another meaning to imagine something, to visualize something, to come up with something. He has conceived the project, means it is his idea. A runaway success, a runaway victory. A runaway has two or three meanings. One meaning to run away from a particular place, but in this context, part of speech adjective, a runaway victory means surprisingly sudden or great. Something sudden or great, we use the word runaway. In this context, this is the meaning. These are the words. Let us see how it starts and how it goes. The lone candidate, lone part of speech adjective, candidate noun. But you should also recollect the word I have done it alone. Alone also means only one person. Lone also means the same thing. But what is this about? On chess, India and the Gukesh's victory. It is all about someone's victory in the field of chess. And what is the main idea? India must, again, now you should know all these, they should be at your fingertips. What are the two functions? One, personal obligation or obligation imposed by the speaker, in this context, the editorial or the writer, and the other one to convey the idea something is compulsory. India must have more elite chess tournaments to build on its success. The idea here, India does not conduct regularly or often elite chess tournaments. And based on a particular elite chess tournament, Gukesh became the champion. Based on that, he got the eligibility to participate in candidate championship in Canada. He got the title. That means what the foundation is a elite chess tournament. Based on that, the editor opines India must have more elite chess tournaments to build on its success. Domaraju Gukesh's victory at the Candidates Chess Tournament in Toronto, Canada, in the early hours of Monday, an important phrase, early hours. For this, we also say wee hours, early morning, let's say 3:30, 4:30, wee hours or early hours of Monday Indian time, ranks among India's greatest achievements in sport. This is something highly appreciable and admirable. Greatest achievements in sport, among India's greatest achievements. The moment you see the word among, you have to recollect two pairs. One is between, among. Two persons or two things between, more than two, among. I'm sure you all know that. But what is the other pair which is very important you have to recollect? Among and amongst. Amongst is a formal word, and if the word after the preposition begins with a vowel letter, we have to use amongst. That you have to recollect. Very important from the exam point of view. Later this year, again you have to recollect two words. One is later, refers to time, and the other one latter refers to position. One refers to time, the other refers to position. One single T, the other double T. Both are in the comparative form. Do remember they have given many a time in different competitive exams. Later this year, again an important phrase you have to remember. He will play future China's Ding Liren for the World Championship. He has got a title, and from this title, because of this title, he is going to compete for the World Championship. He is going to compete with the present incumbent or the current title holder, a Chinese guy, China's Ding Liren for the World Championship as the youngest challenger in history. Perhaps, not perhaps, it's a fact. This guy, Domaraju Gukesh, is the youngest challenger in history of that sport to compete for world championship or to challenge the world champion, Ding Liren. In chess, unlike in most sports, an important word you have to recollect. Offline classes I give about 10 to 15. When we combine two subjects using expressions like with, together with, along with, as well as, like, unlike, besides, in addition to, including, and not, no less than, nothing but, rather than. The verb agrees with the first subject. That rule you have to recollect immediately. Ah, very good. Here, in most, who is this? Divya, I appreciate that. The world champion. In chess, unlike in most sports, the world champion has a privilege, the special right of defending his crown, his title, without playing a single game. Imagine someone has become the world champion in the field of chess. He doesn't have to go through the entire process. He can play with the winner of a particular tournament and he can either retain his title or he has to compete to retain the title. Unlike in other sports, every time the title winner has to go through the whole process, the whole hog. But here has a privilege, special right of defending his crown without playing a single game, while his challenger, in this context, this guy, Domaraju Gukesh, in this context, the challenger, Domaraju Gukesh, has to come through the grueling candidates tournament. The one who wins a title at a candidates tournament, and that is a grueling process, can compete with the world champion. But the world champion doesn't have to go through anything like this. There's one important word, expression rather, has to. I've told many a time, you have to, this is an important one. Have to, has to. What is a function? It is used to express an obligation imposed by an external authority or a situation. In this context, a situation has to go through or has to come through because he has already participated, has to come through the grueling, very tiring and demanding a lot of expertise and effort, grueling candidates tournament. The field was expectedly tough in Toronto, already over based on that past. The field, the competition was tough, expectedly tough in Toronto, where the world number two, world number three, Fabiano Caruana and Hikaru Nakamura had begun as a favorites. The first place, past perfect. Based on that, begin, began, begun, had begun. This is past perfect. First thing to happen. Had begun as a favorites, followed by Ayan Neponiachi, the winner of the last two editions of the tournament. All about the players and expectations. The winner of the last two editions of the tournament. Few would have imagined, very important, you have to recollect immediately, though I have told many a time, few, a few, the few. Same way, little, a little, the little. Few or little mean hardly anything, almost nothing, negative connotation. A few, a little, at least some. The few, the little, something specific or whatever is there. Few would have imagined, means no one must have imagined. Few would have imagined that a 17-year-old from Chennai would finish ahead of them. Those players, favorites, these three. And no one expected this young person to become the champion. Based on that, few would have imagined that a 17-year-old from Chennai would finish ahead of them. Not only is Gukesh exceptionally talented, but he also has a mature head on his young shoulders. There's also an important expression. Mature head on young shoulders means very mature. Not only, you have to recollect, but also. Sometimes we use a pronoun in between, nothing wrong with that. Not only because we started with a negative expression, here it is in interrogative form. Some people say inversion, it is up to you. Is Gukesh exceptionally talented? But he also has a mature, has talks about possession here. Has what? A mature head on his young shoulders. His victory further India's stature, means India's image as the fastest rising country in world chess. We have so many talented players, And we all know Vishwanathan Anand and also Koneru Hampi already achieved a lot. And young, talented players are emerging. Fastest, based on that, fastest rising country in world chess. Again, you have to recollect Rise Race. He was not the only Indian in Toronto. Other Indians were there. He was not the only Indian. We use a word only before whatever it describes. One example they have given many a time, she has solved, or he has solved two problems only. Wrong. He has solved only two problems. He was not the only Indian. Here we have to use before whatever it describes. He was not the only Indian in Toronto. Who else was there? There were five players, three in the open section and two in the women's. All of them did fairly well. You have to recollect two words, fairly, rather. Fairly is a positive word, rather is a negative word. Both have the same meaning. Moderate. Meaning is the same, but one has a positive connotation, the other has a negative connotation. And all of them did fairly well despite going through slumps, means lows. Slump goes with business context. But here, not winning the games, not winning the titles. In form at some stage or the other of the tournament. Slumps in form, an important expression. Slump in the strike rate. Slump in winning the titles. At some stage or the other, an important phrase you have to catch. At some stage or the other of the tournament. Our Pragnananda and Vidit Gujarati had their moments. Had their moments. This is in past, not past perfect. Past tense. I have a car present. I had a car past. Had the moments means good time. Though they lacked consistency. Some point they played well, but they lacked something. They did not have something. What is that was missing? Consistency. Consistency matters a lot. In the women's event, Koneru Hampi second and R Vaishali fourth showed resilience, means what? Withstanding ability. After the disappointments in the opening half, initially disappointments, later they showed resilient nature. Tan Zhongyi was a runaway winner. A runaway winner means sudden, unexpected, surprising, great achievement. Zhongyi was a runaway winner and she has ensured the Women's World Championship will remain in China because her opponent is Zhu Wenjun, a Chinese. Both Chinese are going to compete for the World Championship. Whoever wins the title goes to China. That's what the sentence means. Gukesh, now it is about the winner of the candidates tournament. Gukesh has an excellent chance. Again, here present tense, not present perfect. He has something. He has what? Talks about possession. Possession, you have to recollect one important rule. The primary auxiliary has one function, three meanings. What are the three meanings? Eat, drink, possess. When it comes to possession, we cannot use it in ing form. A common error, a lot of people say, I'm having a bike. It is not correct. We have to say, I have a bike. Here, Gukesh is having, wrong. Gukesh has an excellent chance to prevent China from making it a double yet again. He can stop them. Double yet means what? Men's and women's in this context. If Gukesh wins, he is going to stop that. Now, though, it is time for India to celebrate his spectacular feat. As I said, something outstanding, mesmerizing, impact making, impressive, spectacular. We have to wait and watch, but right now, what is the time for? Now, though, it is time for India to celebrate his spectacular feat. Then, the main idea is being reiterated from here. Then, the Chess Federation, the government, and the corporate world could think of ways to retain India's momentum in chess. Momentum means the right time. What is it? Winning a particular tournament, a young chap winning the tournament. To hold that and to take it to the next level, we need the Chess Federation, the government, and the corporate world could think of ways to retain India's momentum in chess. One of the ways to retain the momentum in chess to organize elite tournaments. Gukesh just talks about that. Gukesh had qualified, here past perfect tense. Further, candidates after playing a super grandmaster tournament in Chennai in December. Because of this elite tournament, he got qualified for the candidates championship or candidates tournament. That hastily conceived, they conceived means the thought of that tournament in a hurry, but it was like a blessing in disguise. That hastily conceived tournament served its purpose. We got a winner. Without it, Gukesh simply wouldn't have been able to make it to Toronto. Without this elite championship or tournament, Gukesh wouldn't have made it, wouldn't have been able to make it to Toronto. But what is equally important or significant is the fact that it was India's first ever tournament of its kind. What they organized was first ever tournament of its kind. When the five-time world champion Vishwanathan Anand was among the world's top players for decades, he had not got an opportunity to play even once in a tournament like that in India. This is the first of its kind. Anand did not have a chance to play something like this. And based on this, the editor opines the only world class tournament in India is the one organized by Tata Steel in Kolkata, but the format is speed chess, not the classical variety employed at the candidates and the world championship. A different format, and only one tournament, that too a different format, speed chess. It does not go with the format of, if you take candidates tournament and the format of the world championship. Based on all this, the editorial ends on the same note. Main idea is being reiterated. What is it? There should be more elite tournaments in India. Then more winners will emerge. That's all about this editorial. Before I wind up, a new course, existing course converted into cyclic batch, cyclic course, cyclic English course, the best foundation course for general English. This is a syllabus. Have a look after the when I provide the PDF. And so many benefits. You get access to all these things. Do remember, one shot. This is cyclic in nature, live plus recorded videos. Live sessions based on the syllabus. Once the cycle is completed, you get a chance to listen to the same topics, all the topics. And you get access to so many things, one shot. Duration 2 months for the cycle to be completed. Evening 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. And course fee actually 3,000, discount 500, 2,500. Validity is 6 months. After this, join the mini mocks at 7:30. Today, you're going to work on comprehension based questions, error location, and also idioms. Have a nice day. Do remember to subscribe and share.